It's 11 p.m. and these are the headlines. The President of the Republic receives the credentials of 4 new ambassadors, namely those of the Kingdom of Belgium, the European Union delegation, the Republic of South Africa, and the Republic of Slovenia to Algeria. The President of the Republic has ordered that imports of raw materials used in production and vital industries to be maintained, a decision hailed by specialists and experts. Details later on. Western Sahara's cause is a matter of decolonization, reaffirmed the 4th United Nations Commission in its final declaration. The Commission also stipulates that the Sahrawi people have the right to self-determination. And the new reports confirming Al Makhzen's involvement in bribing journalists of Western media. These practices are widely used for business matters while the population is sinking into poverty. Welcome back, everyone. We start tonight's edition with the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, who received the credentials of 4 new ambassadors to Algeria. The President of the Republic received Jean-Jacques Keria, who presented him his credentials as an ambassador of the Kingdom of Belgium to Algeria.
سعادة السفير جان جاك كيريا سفير مملكة بلجيكا.
Monsieur le Président, j'ai l'honneur de vous remettre les lettres de créance par lesquelles Sa Majesté Philippe, roi des Belges, m'accrédite en qualité d'ambassadeur extraordinaire et plénipotentiaire.
Belgium's new ambassador underlined the depth of Algerian-Belgian relations, highlighting his country's determination to strengthen them further in the future. Let's have a listen.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Jean-Jacques Keria, je suis ambassadeur de Belgique en Algérie.
Good morning, I'm Jean-Jacques Keria. I'm the new ambassador of Belgium to Algeria. I just had a long meeting with the President of the Republic, during which we reviewed the partnership between our 2 countries. We will soon commemorate the 70th anniversary of the Algerian Revolution. We have exchanges in the sectors of higher education, agronomy, medicine, petrochemicals, agri-food, tools and machinery. The relations between our 2 countries are dynamic, and one of my missions is to improve these relations for the well-being of our populations. This is my commitment during my term.
Que je me donne pour la durée de mon mandat ici.
The President of the Republic also received Diego Melado Pascua, who presented him his credentials as an ambassador of the European Union delegation to Algeria.
سعادة السفير دييغو ميادو باسكوا سفير بعثة الاتحاد الأوروبي.
Excellence, Monsieur le Président, j'ai l'honneur de vous remettre les lettres de créance par lesquelles Son Excellence, Monsieur Charles Michel, Président du Conseil européen, et Madame Ursula von der Leyen, Présidente de la Commission européenne, m'accrédite comme ambassadeur auprès de la République algérienne, démocratique et populaire.
The new ambassador of the European Union delegation to Algeria stressed the revision of the partnership agreements with Algeria following the will of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, highlighting the richness, diversity and the depth of relations between Algeria and the European Union. Here's what he had to say.
Je suis Diego Mellado, je suis l'ambassadeur de l'Union européenne. J'ai eu l'honneur de présenter mes lettres.
I am Diego Mellado, Ambassador of the European Union. I had the honor of presenting my credentials to His Excellency the President, congratulating him once again on behalf of the European authorities on his re-election and confirming the wishes of working together of the European Union. We had the opportunity to review all the relations between the European Union and Algeria, which are rich, intense and varied. We want to make a contribution to Algeria's political political stability to trade investment and economic diversification, and we aspire to broaden the scope of our relations to create a pact for the Mediterranean. We discussed the association agreement with Algeria as indicated by the President of the Republic. We also had the opportunity to discuss geopolitical matters such as the importance of relations with Africa and the Sahel. Algeria, a regional power, is currently at the heart of the relations and difficulties that exist, and where Europe would also like to make a contribution. We also had the opportunity to talk about migratory flows and all the issues that affect Europe and Algeria. And what's important is the conclusion of bonds of friendship. They are very strong. We know and we are aware of the fact that our destinies are united. We wish to continue to work together and to make sure that the European economy and the Algerian economy are integrated. The political dialogue continues and that all this is done within the framework of the European solidarity with all the member states of the European Union and with Algeria, which is a fundamental and essential privileged partner of Europe, of course, and also of the member states of the European Union. Once again, I thank you.
De l'Europe, bien sûr, et aussi des États membres de l'Union européenne.
President of the Republic also received the credentials of the Ambassador of the Republic of South Africa to Algeria, Ndumiso Dima Chinga.
سعادة السفير ندوميسو نديما تشينغا سفير جمهورية جنوب إفريقيا.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you the letters of credence by which His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa appointed me as the Ambassador of the Republic of South Africa to People's Democratic Republic of Algeria.
The ambassador of South Africa reiterated the strong political ties linking the two countries, while emphasizing on the will to work towards reinforcing bilateral economic ties. Let's have a listen to the ambassador.
We've just presented our credentials. Our letters of credence have been presented, and a short discussion that we held with the President reviewing our bilateral relations that we are very comfortable with. We are very happy with the type of relations we have with Algeria. Very, very strong political relations. We also discussed the forthcoming binational commission, which is chaired by both presidents, South African presidents and Algerian president, that will meet in Algiers towards the end of the year, and which will benefit both countries and also benefit the continent. So thank you.
The President of the Republic received the credentials of the Ambassador of the Republic of Slovenia to Algeria, Urška Kramberger-Mendek.
سعادة السفيرة أورشكا كرامبرغر مندك سفيرة جمهورية سلوفينيا.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you my letter of credence by which Madam President Nataša Pirc-Musar, President of Slovenia, appointed me for an ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary to the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria.
The ambassador of Slovenia praised the work of the two countries at the level of the UNSC, while highlighting the level of bilateral relations reached. Let's have a listen to her.
Today I had the honor to present my credentials to the President of Algeria, His Excellency Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune. I'm proud to be the first ever ambassador to Algeria, and I will be carrying out this task with pride and devotion. At the outset, let me use this opportunity to congratulate once again to Mr. President for his re-election for a second term. The relations between Slovenia and Algeria are excellent, We are enhancing our bilateral cooperations and have expanded our trade exchange and are successfully working together in the United Nations Security Council, where both of our countries serve as non-permanent members. Algeria is an important partner for Slovenia, and with the mutual opening of embassies in our respective capitals, our relations have reached the next level. The enhanced cooperation in the energy sector is just the first step forward towards a great partnership to foster sustainable economic growth. We look forward to deepening our cooperation in the cultural and academic sphere, as well as discover opportunities to work closer in the area of sports. Building up on the already great cooperation, I hope we will be able to top this with an official visit of His Excellency, Mr. President Tebboune in Slovenia. An invitation by Her Excellency, Madam Nataša Pirc-Musar, the President of Slovenia, has been already extended for an official visit. So the ties between Slovenia are becoming increasingly strengthened, although the world grows even more complex. The global peace is in a turmoil, and being the Russian aggression on Ukraine that is threatening the peace and stability of Europe, the devastating situation in Palestine that is slowly spilling over in the region, most recently to Lebanon, or the humanitarian crisis in Sudan, the worst in recent memory. Armed conflicts aggravate humanitarian crises around the world that are becoming longer and more severe, while humanitarian aid is decreasing. Finally, I would like to extend my thanks to the people of Algeria for welcoming me warmly, be it here in the capital or in the charming Wilaya of Timimoun that I had the chance to visit. I'm sure me and my family will spend some wonderful time discovering your beautiful country, Algeria, while presenting another beautiful country, Slovenia. Thank you very much.
The ceremony took place in the presence of the Foreign Affairs and National Community Affairs Minister Ahmed Attaf and the Principal Private Secretary of the Presidency of the Republic, Boualem Boualem. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, also received the Ambassador and Resident Coordinator of the UN in Algeria, Alejandro Alvarez, who paid him a farewell visit at the end of his mission in Algeria. The audience was held at the headquarters of the Presidency in the presence of the Principal Private Secretary of the Presidency, Boualem Boualem. The Ambassador and Resident Coordinator of the UN, and after being received by the President of the Republic, expressed his satisfaction with the level reached in terms of coordination and cooperation between Algeria and the UN.
Je viens de rencontrer Son Excellence, Monsieur le
I have
Président.
just met with His Excellency the President of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria on the occasion of my departure and the end of my mission after 3 years of work in Algeria. I leave with a big heart full of all the wonderful moments we have had here, and I am very happy with the level of partnership between Algeria and the United Nations in general. Algeria is currently a non-permanent member of the Security Council and has a very important role in building a peaceful world, and this will support Algeria's long journey as a country that always advocates for peace in the world. We also have a very strong and solid partnership regarding development with various ministries of the Algerian government. We have made tremendous progress in socio-economic issues, education, health, and for us in the United Nations system. It is a great honor to work with Algerians who work every day and struggle for a better life. Farewell. It has been a great honor for me to work here in Algeria, full of wonderful memories for me. Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup.
Economy now. The decision of the President of the Republic at the Council of Ministers on not to ban the importation of raw materials used in the production and in the vital industries is hailed by the specialists and experts, who see it as a way to maintain and even boost national production. Najah Tayar.
In order to avoid disruptions in the supply of essential inputs and support national production while preserving the country's financial reserves, recent guidelines announced at the meeting of the Council of Ministers aim to foster a conducive environment to industrial development in Algeria. These new directives will facilitate the import of raw materials needed for industry while requiring prior authorization for other types of imports. This approach ensures that the restrictions do not hinder local production and export capabilities, which are critical to Algeria's economic growth.
Quand on parle du commerce extérieur, on parle et des importations et des...
As for imports, bearing in mind that Algeria is currently undergoing a major economic transition, the President of the Republic has reiterated his commitment to developing the national economy and to doing so by authorizing raw material for national production, because national production needs raw materials. We're not a country where raw materials can be found in every economic sector, so it's these inputs. They are simply to accompany the national economy products, dense economy products, in order to emerge.
This clarification of the rules sends an important message to foreign investors, especially those reliant on a continuous supply of raw materials for their operation in Algeria. By providing this clarity, Algeria is signaling a move towards a more stable and reassuring environment that encourages the attraction and retention of international investment.
L'Algérie, comme vous le savez, a une place géostratégique qui lui permet d'être la porte.
As you know, Algeria's geostrategic position makes it the gateway to Africa. We would like to see this opportunity given over to the transfer of technology and ideas. We invite investors who are friends of Algeria to come and position themselves in Algeria and to enter into win-win partnerships to conquer the African, Middle Eastern and Southern Mediterranean markets.
These measures, and by ensuring a more predictable regulatory framework, aim not only to secure the necessary supply of raw materials, but also to create an atmosphere of confidence for foreign investors. This is seen as crucial for fostering Algeria's sustainable economic development.
And this press release from the Ministry of Housing that we've received as the following. In compliance with the final report of the Technical Commission made up of experts and technicians from the National Construction Inspection Body and tasked by the Minister to add to the 770 housing neighbourhood on the Lahmar Road in Bashar province on the 19th of October, the Ministry of Housing decided to take legal action against all those responsible for damaging the load-bearing pillars and the structure of the building, so that they can be held accountable for all the illegal alterations they have made. The technical committee has confirmed that the building's load-bearing pillars were sawn using machines or sharp tools designed for cutting steel. This confirms that the owners of the commercial premises on the ground floor made alterations that directly affected the structure of the building and caused the collapse of the building on the 18th of October. This incident once again confirms the importance of complying with the law, stipulating a firm ban on structural alterations to buildings in order to guarantee the safety of people and property, concluded the press release. The national airline Air Algérie has announced the cancellation and rescheduling of several of its international and domestic flights from Monday to November 1st. Air Algérie invites all its passengers to visit all the sales agencies where they purchased their tickets, to contact its call center on 3302 or to visit the website for further information. And the cause of Western Sahara is now a decolonization issue. That's the decision taken by the Fourth Commission of the United Nations. A series of projects and resolutions have been unanimously adopted during the 10th and last session, and it stipulates that the Sahrawi people have the right to self-determination. Yassine Hamdi.
After the final decision taken by the Court of Justice of the European Union that definitively cancels the fisheries and agricultural agreements between the European Union and Morocco, which include the Sahrawi territories, another resolution has been added to the legal fundamentals of the case of Western Sahara, a resolution adopted by the Fourth Committee of the United Nations General Assembly, affirming the right of the Sahrawi people to self-determination and independence. This resolution was adopted by consensus of all the member states, which demonstrates once again the growing importance given to the Sahrawi issue on the international scene. Morocco, for its part, has not expressed any objection to the 24 resolutions suggested and adopted unanimously, which reflects the inconsistency and duplicity of its diplomacy, while it openly and shamelessly criticizes the countries supporting the Sahrawi cause. The resolution therefore reaffirms the status of the Sahrawi case as a question of decolonization and reaffirms the inalienable right of the Sahrawi people to self-determination, in accordance with the UN Resolution 1514. The unanimous adoption of this resolution indicates that even the states supporting the Moroccan thesis now support the position of the United Nations. This marks the beginning of a new era for the Sahrawi people and demonstrates that the United Nations is ready to assume its responsibilities towards the last colony in Africa an issue that can no longer be ignored or hidden.
And new reactions following the decision of the Court of Justice of the European Union on trade agreements with Morocco. The court cancelled these agreements, considering Western Sahara as a separate territory. This verdict puts the European Union in an embarrassing situation, as it has participated in the illegal plundering of Western Sahara resources. Daniel Bhi reports.
The decision of the Court of Justice of the European Union on the subject of Western Sahara continues to provoke a chain of reactions. This judgment, which represents a hard blow for Morocco and its allies, accentuates the dissensions within the European Union. Germany quickly expressed its support for the decision, calling for respect for European justice. Other member states seem to follow this path, thus dividing Europe on the Sahrawi question, as shown by the Belgian media. I believe that the European executive feels extremely uncomfortable after being condemned by the Court of Justice of the European Union because it brought about agreements with Morocco. For the Sahrawi people, this is a new victory in their struggle for the recognition of Western Sahara. The court confirms once again that any exploitation of the resources of the Western Sahara without the consent of the Sahrawi people is illegal. This decision calls into question the interests of the Makhzen and reinforces the idea that the Sahrawi question remains an unresolved matter of decolonization. This decision is a victory against this type of agreement signed with Morocco, which includes another country than the one concerned. They occupy the lands of Western Sahara. The European Union must be careful in supporting our brothers and sisters in Western Sahara, but also in all regions of the world. We believe that the right to self-determination is a right of peoples, and on this principle our position is based on all causes of national liberation. And this decision goes beyond European borders. At the United Nations, it's perceived as a major support for the Sahrawi cause. The European Court recalls that only the Sahrawi population holds sovereignty over its wealth and reaffirms its right to self-determination.
As always, another scandal in Morocco. This time, foreign journalistic investigations revealed the involvement of corrupted Moroccan and foreign reporters in spreading fake news in order to try to fix the Makhzen's reputation. Yasin Hamdi.
Nowadays, corruption in Morocco is globally known. Journalistic investigations carried out by foreign journalists from Belgium, Spain and France have revealed the dictatorship of the Makhzen regime, which has not only banned freedom of speech in its territory, but has also extended its influence beyond its borders in an attempt to restore its image and dissimulate the corruption that rules the kingdom.
This is Ridwan Ramdani. He is a journalist who serves the interests of the Zionists in the Moroccan kingdom. He works for the Moroccan intelligence services for corruption.
The Makhzen regime uses corruption to harm any opposition, such as the Sahrawi people whose rights are violated. The more investigations are conducted, the more the truths are revealed, as in the Pegasus scandal, which shook the international public opinion and brought down the mask on any Moroccan journalists whose mission was to spread fake news and serve the propaganda of the Makhzen. This scandal not only revealed the spying on Moroccan opponents by the Makhzen, but also the involvement of some European and Arab media to publish lies and silence all the opposition voices. Global reports mention the way in which some media found themselves involved with the Makhzen regime by ignoring the ethics of the profession. These same media ended up revoking the journalists involved. Moreover, the Makhzen has always used drug money to corrupt journalists and influencers on social networks to continue to spread lies in order to destabilize its neighboring countries. Reports from international organizations have revealed the degree of violation of the rights of journalists who are spied on their phones. Worse still, this practice affects foreign journalists working for international media who have also been spied on. This is what has been revealed by French newspapers, which have put the Makhzen system under the microscope.
The Makhzen also promotes corruption inside Morocco. The wealth of the royal family and Moroccan elites raises doubts, and ongoing investigations reveal major political and financial scandals, while the population sinks into poverty. Manuel Bahir this time.
The Moroccan royal family owns luxurious palaces located in the most prestigious places in the world, and for this reason a huge fortune far exceeding what is officially recorded. This amount accumulated at the expense of the Moroccan people depends on taxes and fees that drain the state's resources. Overall, the numerous side effects are far greater than the resources allocated to vital sectors, and the extravagant increase in the palace continues to burden public finance.
The Moroccan state spends heavily on the royal family, which also devotes itself to trade and investment, yet the family does not need these additional resources. In addition to the annual budget estimated at over $250 billion, the royal family owns luxurious palaces, each with dedicated staff and specific security services. The costs of maintaining these residences weigh heavily on the state budget in a country that is in a dire need of resources in essential sectors, but instead the royal family has chosen to live in excessive luxury.
Reports indicate that the wealth of the Moroccan elite has increased. Indeed, the number of wealthy individuals has suddenly soared, raising doubts and questions about the origin of this wealth.
It is not in the interest of the monarchy to end corruption, as it would compromise its income. Some resources cannot be commercialized, but the royal family has taken over all the land, so everything above ground and below ground belongs to the royal family as well.
While the royal family accumulates excessive wealth, the Moroccan people suffer from the depletion of their resources for the benefit of a small elite that defends the interests of the ruling family. This elite exercises control over the economy, politics, and even government institutions that are supposed to serve the population.
People who had a job and could lead a decent life find themselves in difficulty. It is becoming more and more complicated to pay rent and do shopping. We do not understand what is happening, especially in the recent years. Life has become very hard for us. Poverty is increasing alarmingly. The prices of consumer products have doubled and salaries have not followed.
The Moroccan population lives in precariousness, while the wealth of the royal family is based on their suffering. The gap between rich and poor is widening more and more, fueled by systematic corruption.
And the humanitarian situation in Gaza is catastrophic. The World Food Programme stated that supplies in the north of the enclave will run out within a week and a half. The north is where 400,000 Palestinians are trapped and bombed. The Zionist attacks continue in Lebanon as well. More than 1 million people have been forced to flee. That was it for today's news. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon.